Welcome to episode 92 of Tools in the Hall. If you're new to my tool haul videos, welcome. Nice of you to join us. And if you're not new, welcome back. I have some things here that I'm restocking the truck with. I also have a bunch of stuff that's special order. So some of these you may or may not have seen before in the tool haul videos. So let's get right to it with this 5-piece set of pry bars from K-Tool. These are the curved tip pry bars. They are capped with a striker cap so you can hit them with a hammer. And these are manufactured by Mayhew for K-Tool. K-Tool is a private label brand that's owned by my largest distributor. When distributors or companies want to sell a product with their own brand name on it and they don't have the manufacturing capacity for it, they ask another company who does have the manufacturing capacity to make it for them. And either it's made to their own design or they can buy an off-the-shelf product from that company with their name on it. I've been doing it with disposable nitrile gloves myself. I have Coyle Tools branded gloves. K-Tool has these branded pry bars that are made by Mayhew. So they're the same exact Mayhew Dominator pry bar, but you spend a little bit less on these because they buy in such high volume, they can negotiate a lower cost and therefore it's a lower price to the consumer. This particular set has an 8-inch, 12-inch, 17-inch, 25-inch, and 31-inch pry bar in it with a comfortable rubber handle with a plastic inlay. Mayhew years ago purchased a plastic company so they can keep all the manufacturing entirely in-house when it comes to these pry bars. So they're a one-stop shop for pry bars. They also make fabulous hand tools, bit sockets, a bunch of other things I'm a big fan of. I love their picks. I carry those all the time, and they have some wonderful screwdriver sets that I've also bragged about in the past. Lifetime warranty on these guys. Can't go wrong when you look at the price difference between, say, this set and a similar set on the Mako truck, because Mako gets their pry bars made by Mayhew too. So you're buying the same exact pry bar, but you're not going to spend nearly as much if you shop the brand and you understand a little bit about who makes what for whichever brand. You'll save yourself a bunch of money. This is a great, fast, and easy molding remover set from Astro. 5 plastic pieces come in this pack. Lisle makes a set which is much larger than this and has a different assortment of these, but these are terrific. For the quick purchase, you're not going to spend much money. I think these are less than $25 on the truck. And they're a great set. I've never had one break on me. They last a long time. They're made of real high-impact plastic, and not much to say about them other than they are such a handy, easy set. It's the one I keep in inventory all the time. I'm restocking on hammers, and my brand of choice is Milwaukee. Used to be gearwrench, but it's Milwaukee now because Milwaukee has far better pricing, and I think the quality of the products are comparable, but the pricing's better, and honestly, there's some features to the Milwaukee ones that you don't get on any of the other brands, not least of which is this flat spot on the head. So you can stand this hammer straight up and down. And you're thinking, what's the big deal with something like that? Well, these little convenience features make a big difference when it comes to how you use the hammer. Not only that, but when you're looking down on your hammer, they emboss in the butt the size of the hammer. So let's say you have these two side by side on the floor of the shop and you need to grab one, but you need to grab either the 32 ounce or the 16 ounce. You just look right down on the handle and you can see which one it is. Again, these are not groundbreaking features by any stretch of the imagination, but they let you know their engineers are really thinking about you when they design these tools. In addition, they have a fantastic handle. The grip on this is second to none. It's truly non-slip. And an additional feature of these that was told to me by one of my customers who bought them was when he compared these to the Mac anti-vibe hammers, which is a strong comparison, I know, because I've always held Mac's hammers in high regard. The difference there is the the handle is made of metal with a rubber grip on the bottom, and this portion here is all metal, but it tapers down to a very thin, narrow handle. So when he said that if he chokes up on the hammer, this is very comfortable to choke up on. The Mac ones are not, because the handle is so thin there. I thought, well, that's a really compelling feature that I can tell people about when they're trying to make a choice or make a decision. It always helps to have as many features available as possible that you can brag about and tell people so that they can decide for themselves, A, is it worth the money? Or B, maybe something like this costs less than a Mac anti-vibe hammer. So maybe you're getting a better product that has features that the anti-vibes don't, and you're saving yourself some money. So you really can't lose because you're winning both ways. Lifetime warranties on these, and these are the two steel-headed ball peen hammers. They have two soft face hammers as well. All are dead blow, so they'd be way more comfortable in your hand when you're hitting metal on metal. I have a newly repaired Ingersoll 1/2-inch impact. This is the 2235 Ti Max. I did not shoot a video on the repair of this because the repair was so simple. All I had to do is replace the anvil, and that includes us removing these 4 body screws, separating this hammer housing that houses the assembly, removing the anvil, popping a new one in, relubricating everything, and popping it back together. So I didn't bother to shoot a video because it would have been a very short video, but these have 2-year warranties on them. I sold this originally to my customer, I want to say 4 years ago, and about 3.5 years ago, he broke the anvil on this, and then he came to me last week with another broken anvil. So I replaced it again, and he's good to go. The reason the anvils break on these is not because they are inferior, but because, like many people who use these in diesel and truck shops, my customer works at a transit bus facility. So they have to use these large 33 or 1 5/16 inch sockets on their wheel lugs. And a lot of shops either don't have or don't allow their technicians to use 1-inch impacts, which honestly is a better tool for that particular job. But a lot of guys only have their 1/2-inch. So what happens when they take a 1/2-inch impact on a 1/2-inch drive socket and they try to remove a lug nut that was tightened by somebody else who used a 1-inch gun and over torqued it? Well, they're gonna be hammering away on that for a long, long time. That causes a lot of heat and it causes a lot of fatigue to the metal. The sockets break and the anvils break. These 2 sockets are 33mm snap-on sockets for the same customer who owns this. So he broke 2 of his sockets and his anvil in the course of using his tool to try to remove transit bus wheels. So why am I doing the snap-on sockets for him? Well, that's a service I provide. You can do it yourself if you don't have if you're not serviced by a truck, but I do it on behalf of my customers. I simply call Snap-on, give them some part numbers, and they give me a warranty claim number. I send them the old ones, they send me some new ones. Snap-on is a breeze to deal with. So if you're having trouble with your Snap-on guy, I know, hard to believe that you might, and you need stuff taken care of under warranty, contact Snap-on directly. The customer service number is on their website, and once you talk to a very friendly and helpful person there, they will get you squared away in no time. These actually were on back order, and the nice thing is, after I placed the order, they sent me an email saying, just so you know, they're on back order, and they offer a level of communication that you don't get with a lot of other companies. So really good experience working with Snap-on. I enjoy calling them, and they're always very helpful, very friendly, knowledgeable if you have questions, and it couldn't be easier dealing with those folks. I love them a lot, and they're a far cry from any bad experience you may have had with a guy in the truck. That's an individual guy. He doesn't represent the corporation because he's an independently owned and operated franchise. If you want true 5-star service, call Snap-on directly, and they will help you out. This is the 14-piece, 3/8 drive Nano socket set from Astro. Low profile. They have a hex bolster on them, so you can use it with a wrench or a socket, and they have a square drive hole for your ratchet, breaker bar, or impact, and they are impact rated. They come on a beautiful blue anodized aluminum rail with sliding plastic clips. I've heard a rumor that Astro makes a specialty wrench just for these, but I've never been able to order it because it's always on back order. So it's something that's on my wish list. Someday I might get one, but either they're popular or they don't make a lot of them. I don't know what the reality is of those wrenches. All I know is, try as I might, I can't get them from my distributors, but I keep looking every so often to see if they're available. But no matter if you don't have their specialty wrench for these, you have so many options for turning these that they come in very handy, and they're a wonderful addition to your toolbox for any compact areas you have to work in because they're so low profile. You can see how they're all exactly the same height. I think it's a really cool feature. They also have these in 1/2-inch drive. So no matter what your application is, they've got Nano sockets to fit them. From Ingersoll Rand, this is their compact 1/2-inch drive air impact. This model is the 36Q Max. This great little guy is not much larger than your hand. It's great for getting in tight spots. They rate this at about 650 foot-pounds of breakaway torque. I promise you it's not that strong. Companies are very generous with their torque specs. No matter who it is, I don't care what the brand is, they'll always tell you that their impacts are stronger than they actually are. These are no exception. And the reason why they're not that strong is because in this housing here is just one tiny little hammer that does all the work of having the impact on that anvil. So it can't drive nearly that much, but it is rather strong for its size, and it's a terrific option if you have to do either a lot of repetitive work in small spaces or you do need a little bit of extra power. This is the guy that will fit the bill. Just understand what it is you're buying. You're not buying the most powerful 1/2-inch stubby impact in the world. There are better options when it comes to power. Certainly they're full-size 1-inch 2235, like I showed you before. This guy's way stronger than this. That's about 1,350 foot-pounds. Again, what it actually is, I don't know, but just know that this one is about half as strong as a full-size one, but it's still great for a lot of automotive applications where you have to get in tight spots. From Lisle, this is their 19mm Harmonic balancer bolt socket. Notice how thick that wall is. There is far more material here than a standard socket because you need much more power, and when this thing starts turning, it provides way more momentum, I guess, inertia. I don't know what the proper scientific term is there, but it provides the power you need to remove the harmonic balancer bolts in Hondas. You can also use these for any application that you need extra torque for that has a 19mm, and they have these in different sizes too, but the 19 is the most popular one for folks who work on Hondas. So I got this for a customer who, he's been turning wrenches forever. And he said to me last week, he goes, all right, he says, it's time I bought one of these harmonic balancer bolt sockets. He says, I've been using, my buddies for years. And every time he gets a Honda in and has to work on that, he has to borrow the socket. So finally, after all these years, he bought one. There are different designs of these. One is from Ingersoll, which has like a ring around it that makes it look like a space station or something. It's kind of cool looking. But no matter how they're designed, the principles are the same. There's simply more material here that adds mass to this, that provides the power while it's turning and can break away bolts that are particularly stuck or need higher torque than your standard applications would allow. Also from Lisle, this is a pair of disconnect pliers. These are designed to be used for electrical connectors that have those yellow tabs on the end. This goes around the outside of the connector housing and presses in on those tabs. It's kind of hard to see, but they give you a little diagram there on its use cases and stuff. Very popular. One of these all-around good pliers you're going to need anytime you're working on electrical connectors. So handy, and it saves you a few moments every time you use it. This is one of these tools of convenience that will allow you to be more efficient, work faster, and earn more money if you're flagging hours for a living. Not to be outdone by those disconnect pliers, also from Lisle, here's their newer electrical disconnect pliers. And you can see on the ends there how they're designed to grab electrical connectors and to press the tab. One of them is straight, the other has a 60-degree angle to it. And when you're filling out your arsenal of specialty pliers, especially if you work on a lot of electrical stuff, you'll probably wind up buying a couple of pairs of these. These turned out to be very popular. They were introduced within a year ago, as far as I remember. And for the longest time, they were impossible to get because, like those Astro specialty wrenches for their Nano sockets, these are on back order forever. But they finally started getting regular supplies into the distributors who then can sell to retailers like myself. And now I have them on the truck all the time. And, you know, both of these sell all the time. So I'm always reordering these, trying to keep up with the demand to keep them on the shelves of the truck. At some point, I'll reach market saturation. But until then, I got to hurry up and continually restock on these. This is a handy little blowgun from Milton. Milton makes a lot of air fittings and blowers. This is very popular with guys who work in body shops because there's no valve to it. There's no on-off switch. You simply plug it in to your air hose and it blows air out. And it's great for dusting off cars from Bondo dust or sanding dust and blow off your own clothing with it. Put it in your hair, on your clothes. It's great. Keep it in your pocket all the time. It has a little pocket clip on it. The fellow who ordered this from me said, "Can you get me like 37 of them? Because I keep losing them." So I got him this one. Hopefully it lasts him a long time. But if he keeps losing them, I got more on the truck because I always try to keep these in stock too. Also from Astro is a digital tire inflator. It's been a while since you've seen these on the tool hauls, but I have been selling them and restocking on them. Just these come in between the cycles where I shoot the videos. So it's a wonderful, easy to use digital tire inflator. This is, I believe, the identical one as Matco, because if I'm not mistaken, this is made by Milton. I might be wrong about that, but I believe that's the case. For a while, I erroneously believed this was the same as the Blue Point, but it's not. Same as the Matco one. I believe it's made by Milton. A long, stainless, braided hose with a lock-on chuck. Great strain relief where it attaches to the inflator. You just peel the housing back to access the battery door on the side. And the great thing about these is they use AAA batteries. They don't use those watch or those wafer style batteries, which a lot of people don't like. Very handy. And you can swap out that chuck for any different style chuck that you want. I had a customer ask me if I could do that for him, so I did. And I got him a different brand of chuck that carried a lifetime warranty. And he's much happier now with his whole unit. And Astro does a great job after the sale with service. If these ever go south on you or break, they do a really good job of taking care of these under warranty. I've had one of them which needed service. It wasn't under warranty because my customer dropped it in coolant. So, you know, it's not sealed against liquid. So he dropped it, and we had to get it fixed for him, send it off to Astro, and in pretty short order, they had it all fixed up and back in the hands of my customer. So when I do that, I do that on behalf of my customers. I never tell my customer, "Oh, you have to contact the manufacturer." No, that's my duty for them. And it's very easy for us to deal with the manufacturers directly because either we go through a distributor where I buy all this stuff from, or we go directly to the manufacturer. In either case, the nice thing about having been in business for as long as we have is we've got this stuff down to a science. My wife is the one that handles a lot of this processing and dealing with the vendors. So between her efforts and my efforts, this stuff is really easy for us to take care of, and I'm happy to do it. It's part of the service that I provide. It's what separates me from a lot of other tool truck guys who don't provide that level of service. I know a lot of guys that would just as soon slough off something to the customer. I'll give you an example. There's a Matco guy who's no longer in business, and that's not a surprise considering how he treated his customers. He used to just give them stuff and say, you take care of it, you got a call or whatever, instead of taking care of it himself. And the example I can give you is a customer bought a toolbox from him, and he needed a couple of drawer slides replaced. Well, the drawer slides are under lifetime warranty. So the Matco guy, after like weeks of dragging his feet, finally bought the drawer slides, then gave them to the customer and said, "All right, install them yourself." And the customer's like, "Can you help me?" He's like, "No, man, I got other stuff to do." Who does that? Guys who aren't in business, that's who does that. So if you want to stay in business and you want to do a lot of business, you have to go that extra mile. You must provide a high level of service to your customers. So I take care of the snap-on warranties. I'm the go-between when it comes to a manufacturer if a customer needs something. I've got a scanner here, it's under a pile of stuff, from Launch that a customer bought years and years ago from somebody else. He's having a hard time with it. He asked me if I can help him. Yeah, give it to me. I'll contact Launch. I'll take care of all that stuff for my customer. It's simply how I do business, and it's one of the reasons why I've been doing it for as long as I have. And it's one reason why I see a lot of Snap-on and Matco guys, particularly in my area, going out of business. And I think in the last year, 3 Snap-on guys are gone and 2 Matco guys are gone. So I feel like sometimes I'm one of the only tool guys left standing because I keep showing up and you provide a level of service that the other guys don't touch. They're gone for a reason. So that's how you got to do business. All right, that's enough of my rant about tool guys. From Knipex, these are the twin grip pliers. These guys were popular from the get-go, and when they first came out with these, I saw the product announcement. I said, oh, they're probably about $80, $85. No, they're right around $50 on the tool truck. So if you buy these in some other retail, you're going to pay even less for them. They have this wonderful push-button adjustment like you find on their Cobra pliers, and there's 5 jaw positions. That's the widest, and that's fully closed. When you look at how the jaws are made, you see some really cool cross-hatching in them, so you can use these for a multitude of applications. They grab really solidly. They don't slip. You have vertical and horizontal serration, so they're great for use on hose clamps, and when you close the jaws all the way, you'll even see that they have a hole right there in the tip. That is for those wire style hose clamps. They're just a great all-around pair of pliers. They open up nice and wide so that when you do have to grab hose clamps, you got plenty of space to do that. You have those band style, those flat ones, or those wire ones. Almost any grabbing application that you would normally look for different pliers for all rolls into this one set from Knipex. Lifetime warranty on them. You can't beat the price. They're incredibly popular. I sell these all the time, and I got a few pairs here that I'm restocking with. I think these were on a recent tool haul video. This is the 4-piece Ladyfoot pry bar set from K-Tool. The price on these is so cheap, you can buy all 4 pieces here for about the same price as that 6-inch one by itself on a Snap-on truck. What's the difference? I don't know. The name, that's about it. And like I mentioned about the pry bar sets from K-Tool, these are also private label. I don't know who manufactures these. It could be the same company that makes them for Snap-on. It could be Snap-on, because Snap-on's a manufacturer. The fact of the matter is you're not suffering in quality at all, and you don't have to pay the kind of money that you see on other tool trucks. You can get this stuff for, I think, $65, if I'm not mistaken, all 4 pieces. There's a 6, a 12, a 16, and a 20-inch pry bar in there. They have a tapered end for aligning holes, and then the Ladyfoot end. Some people call them like a rocking pry bar, or they have other names for them, but they're a really good, versatile, high-quality pry bar set. They've got a lifetime warranty if you ever break one, but in all the years I've been selling this, I think I've taken care of one under warranty. Someone, I think they just bent a 6-inch one because they needed to use a bigger one, but they didn't. So, guys will kind of abuse these, and although the warranty doesn't cover abuse, I'm not going to complain about it. And as long as my distributor covers it, we're good. So it's a great brand to work with. It's a great brand to stock in the truck. These sell constantly, so I'm restocking with a few pairs for this week. More from K-Tool. This is a 4-piece magnetic toolbox tray set. There is a large parts tray, a small parts tray, a parts tray that holds cans and screwdrivers, and then there is a towel rack. A lot of guys don't use that as a towel rack, though. They can do a couple of things with them. They turn them so the spindles are facing up, and they can hang things like jackets, shirts, and boots on them. One guy told me that he uses it to wrap extension cord around, to store extension cords. all kinds of uses. Very strong magnets on the back of them, so they stick nicely to the side of your toolbox or your cart. Some people put them on the tool cart lid when they're never going to close their tool cart, so some guys leave it open all the time to keep things at the ready. Those can holders are particularly useful on the side of your cart if you wheel it around to have right next to you every time you're working underneath a car. Ernst has these organizer trays that for years I didn't carry them, and I don't know why I didn't carry them. I don't know. I guess I never really paid attention. That happens a lot. And one day I decided, I'm going to start putting these on the truck because I think somebody asked me for them. And I started noticing in people's toolboxes how many people have organizer trays. So I'm like, I think I'm missing out on something. So I ordered the black, the red, and the yellow. I don't have any other colors with me because they're already, I think, stocked on the truck. I'm restocking these black ones. And ever since I did that, they sell all the time. It's like one of these products that I, for one reason or another, didn't pay any attention to and should have, but when I started looking around and noticing how popular they were, I put them on the truck and they sell regularly, so I'm restocking the black ones. I already have the red and the yellow on the shelves. From Electronic Specialties, these are back probes. These are for your multimeter when you need to measure something on the back side of an electrical connector. You don't have to remove the wire or stick this in an opening for the pin. So if you have the connector coupled and you can't, or you don't want to disconnect it, you take a back probe and you go in the back side of where the wire feeds into the connector, and it's small enough and thin enough to hit the contact in there, and you can measure the voltage or continuity or resistance or whatever it is you have to measure. These little guys are very handy. You can get just these in the 2-pack, which is the ones I normally carry. They also have multi-packs. They have the straight ones like that, 45 and 90 degree, all different sizes, so you can buy a whole variety pack of them if you wanted to, but these are the ones that they keep on the truck because they're always selling. Also from ESI, these are the Load Pro Dynamic Test Leads, and this applies 0.5 amps across a circuit, so you can check for a voltage drop anywhere along there and see if there's corrosion or a break or short or something like that. And the leads themselves have a recess in the tip so that you can apply them to the rounded male connectors on ECMs, which you can't do with a pointed probe tip effectively. So these guys are a highly specialized electrical tool that is perfect for greatly reducing the time it takes you to troubleshoot an electrical issue. They're a little more expensive than I thought they'd be. On the truck, they're $84.99, but I have a customer who, I'm pretty sure he's watching, Ryan, these are yours, and Ryan is this go-getter who just wants to learn as much as he can, and he wants to get better all the time, and he wants these because he wants to constantly improve his electrical diagnostic and troubleshooting skills. And I really admire that about him. A lot of people would shy away from that, but not him. He grabs it with both horns, wants to tackle it, and I really like that. And he's not afraid to put the time and the money and the effort into learning these things because he knows that it's going to pay him dividends later on. And he's doing it now while he's younger, so that by the time he maybe settles down, has a family, and does all his other family things and gets his other life obligations in order, and he can't spend the kind of money then that he's spending now on tools, he'll be all tooled up and ready to go. And he just has to make incremental purchases. So good on you, Ryan. Glad you're getting these. I'm dying to know what you think of them as you try them out. He's always been great at giving me feedback on stuff, so I admire him a lot, and I really look forward to seeing him every week because he always gives me updates on the stuff that he bought and is using and gives me great use case scenarios for them. From Easy Red, this is a hammer indent tool. You can use these to crimp battery terminals, and that's what this customer of mine who ordered this is using them for. So you put the cable in there, and then you just let this go, and then you can hit the head here with a hammer. And it's pretty effective at what it does. You get a lot of force that transfers through this into your workpiece. Not a lot of guys have these. There's other crimpers that seem to have gained favor over the years. There are hydraulic ones. There's screw type ones, but my customer specifically wanted this because he says he does not like the other styles. So this one's going to him. These are just the cutest little things from Vim. This is your 3-piece quarter drive Nano ratchet kit. Comes with a ratcheting head there, an extension handle, and a square drive. How cool is that? Vim comes out with these really neat specialty tools, and something like this has been very popular because everybody always needs small tools to get into tight spots. Vim has you covered when it comes to stuff like this with their half-cut Torx bits and hex bits and other sockets and things that are perfect to pair up with a tool like this. It gives you a level of access into tight spots that you wouldn't have with other tools, and the quality of Vim stuff is very high. So it's not like you're buying chintzy stuff that's just made for these little rinky-dink jobs. This is truly pro grade. So no matter what you're doing, what field you're in, if you need access to tight spots with quarter drive tools, look at the Vim stuff. I don't carry much in the way of SK branded tools because the stuff's very expensive. And I think you can get stuff that's equally good quality from other brands, but there is one thing I always carry, and that's their pocket screwdriver. And the reason I carry this is because on one end, it has a Phillips drive. Just remove the shank, switch it around, and you've got your slotted. So it's $10, pretty cheap, lifetime warranty. This one's going to my buddy Sammy Salinas, who for some reason keeps breaking these. I don't know why. He's the only one. And of all the ones of these I've sold, he's the only one to have to file a warranty claim with me. But I just swap him out. That's easy enough to do. I don't know what he's doing that's so special that breaks these, but maybe someday he'll reveal his secret. I don't know. But there's a little plastic grommet in here that adds tension to this so it doesn't just pull out. And that little grommet's been breaking and falling out on him. So it's easy enough to replace these. He gives me his old one. I hand him his new one. He's got this one coming to him this week. This is easily the most popular flashlight I've got right now. This is the Slayer Pro from Coast. They are rectangular in design, not unlike the Streamlight wedge lights. But I don't put the wedge lights on the truck. The reason is because with the Coast stuff, you get a better feature set and you're going to spend a lot less money. This is their beautiful blue color. They have them in black, red, a brown color they call Dune. I wish they would have purple. They don't though, but they have two elements in them. One's a spot, one's a flood, a pocket clip, and two power buttons. Oh, they have a recharging port on the back there, and two power buttons. The top one cycles you through all the different modes, high, low, spot, flood. And the bottom one is a programmable button. So let's say instead of wanting to cycle through to get to the setting that you want, you put it on the setting you want, then press and hold that programmable button for 3 seconds, and then the light blinks. And now this button here is programmed to always come on the setting you just chose. And the top button still cycles you through all the settings. The cool thing with this is there's even a kind of a turbo feature. You're on bright, press and hold that button. It gets brighter momentarily, and then it steps back down to the regular high power after about 30 seconds. So plenty of light in a little guy like this. They are rated for 1150 lumens on spot. And even on the highest setting, the runtime is rated at 2.5 hours. Lifetime warranty, which I really like about Coast. They have an integrated rechargeable battery in here so you can't service it or remove it. So they don't have dual power like on some of their other flashlights. So this is rechargeable only, but it's such a wonderful light, such a great feature set, and the price point, I think right around is $110 right now. And if you're new to this gig and you're looking at flashlights and say, who would spend $110 on a flashlight? Everybody spends $110 on these flashlights because professional grade lights are expensive. The reason why they're so expensive is because the quality is very high. They have to be very rugged to put up with the rigors of everyday shop use. And if they carry a lifetime warranty like these do, we know we're going to be swapping them out because they're going to get kicked around, dropped, and beat up. So you're going to pay more for that unless you lose it, it's the last time you have to buy one because you're covered forever. I have an 18-piece screwdriver set from K-Tool. I think the reason I have it is because it came free when I ordered something. It might have been that tool tray set. And my distributor will run these promotions from time to time. Buy something, get something for free. Milwaukee has promotions all the time. And I'm taking advantage of that for a customer right now who's buying their 3/8.5 inch M18 kit. That comes with his choice of a free 8 amp hour battery, a free drill, or a free Sawzall, and he's choosing the Sawzall. The cool thing about that is that they don't always make it in the flyer, but if I'm on top of things and I can tout that to people, it oftentimes will help them make a purchasing decision. Because when he looked at that kit, it's not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. But I was like, it's kind of a lot of money. I said, hey, if it helps, man, you get your choice of a free tool or battery. And he said, you know what? I'll take that Sawzall. So it's worth it to him because now he's getting 3 tools, 2 batteries, a charger, and a bag, 5-year warranties on the tools, 3-year warranties on the batteries. It makes the price a little bit easier to swallow, though it is still pricey. But remember, when you're buying on a tool truck, you're getting full service after the sale, you're getting the convenience of me going to you, and you're able to finance your purchases on the tool truck. With these screwdrivers, because they came free, the great thing about these is I can do a promotion, I can do a giveaway, I can have a name your price game, or whatever it is that I want to do. It gives me some options, and there are some customers lately who have just been treating me really, really well, and I appreciate the business. So something like this might be a great giveaway for me as a way to show thanks for my customers who have been giving me some really good business over the past few weeks. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Keep watching because I've got a bunch of exciting things, including I'm going to show you that 1/2 inch and 3/8 impact kit from Milwaukee with the free Sawzall. We're going to do more tools in the haul videos, of course. And I'll have some cool gun videos coming up too. I've got some cleaning, some repair, and some new stuff that's coming in that I'm dying to show you. So do me a favor and click down here now to subscribe so you don't miss any of it. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, use a tool. Don't be one.